Okay, 4.1, representing linear non-proportional relationships. We're going to start off by learning how to put everything into a table. So it says Francisco makes $12 per hour doing part-time work on Saturdays. He spends $4 on transportation to and from work. The equation y equals 12x minus 4 gives him earnings y after transportation costs for working x hours. Make a table of values for this situation. So it's what it's saying here. And then $4 transportation, so you have to subtract the transportation cost of $4 x minus 4. So to get our table, we're just going to put the number of hours he works. Let's just do 2, 4, 6, and 8. So now we're just going to plug those numbers into our equation. We're going to put 2 in for x, 4 in for x, 6 in for x, and 8 in for x, and work out the equation. So starting with the first one, 12 times 2 is 24, and 24 minus 4 is 20. Let's explain this a little bit. This will work. So equals 12 times 2 minus 4, that equals 20. Equals 12 times 4 minus 4. That's 12 times 4 is 48. 48 minus 4 is 4. Equals 12 times 6 minus 4. 12 times 6 is going to be 72. Minus 4 is 68. And the last one, 12 times 8 minus 4. That's going to give us 92. We're just going to plug those numbers into our 20, 24, 68, and 92. Okay. So that's all we have to do to make the table. That's making a table. On the next page, it's more activity. Okay, it says you call the relationship between two quantities in which the ratio of one quantity to the other quantity is constant. And all that's saying is talking about our K. Finding K. It's constant, and it has a proportional relationship. The graph of a proportional relationship is a line from the origin. That's what we talked about. It always has to go through 0, 0 and be a straight line. Relationships can have a constant rate of change but not be proportional. Okay, so relationships can have a constant rate of change but not be proportional. So let's take a look at that. The entrance fee for Mountain World Theme Park is $20. Visitors purchase additional $2 tickets for rides, games, and foods. The equation y equals 2x plus 20 gives the total cost y to visit the park, including the purchasing x tickets. So we've got the entrance fee and then $2 a ticket. So the entrance fee is $20, $2 times each ticket, which is represented by x. So number tickets 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. We work those out through the equation. Yes. 2 times 2 plus 20. 2 times 4 plus 20. 2 times 6 plus 20. And 2 times 8 plus 20. Find out what each of these equals. So that's 24, 28, 32, and 36. Plug those into our table. 24, 28, 36. Okay. Number 2, it says plot the ordered pairs from the table. Describe the shape of the graph. So I'm just going to, each of these in the table is an ordered pair. Okay. Ordered pair 428, 632, 836. Each is an ordered pair. So 0, starting at 0 on the x-axis, 0, and then go positive 20. So I'm going to go to positive 20, which is right there. And I'm going to go over to 2, up to 24. Go over to 6, up to 32. And then 8, up to 36. And that gives me a line. I know mine's not so straight, but it would make a straight line. So describe the shape of the graph. Straight line. Which means it's linear. This means it's linear. If it's straight, it's linear. Okay? But it's not proportional. Not proportional. Okay? It's not proportional because it doesn't go through the origin, 0, 0. All right, now step 3. Find the rate of change between each point and the next is the rate constant. So we need to find how much does it change between each one of these. Okay, to find rate of change is change in y over change in x. So let's look at this. Change in y. How much does it change from each y? From 20 to 24 is 4. From 24 to 28 is 4. 28 to 32 is 4. And 32 to 36 is 4. So the change in y is 4. We're going to do the exact same thing for the change in x. 0 to 2 is 2. 2 to 4 is 2. 4 to 6 is 2. And 6 to 8 is 2. So the change in x is 2, and 4 over 2 equals 2. So our change, our rate of change between each point is 2. So is the rate constant? Well, yes, it was the same change every time, so yes. Okay, step 4. Calculate y over x for the values of the table. Explain why the relationship between the numbers of tickets and total cost is not proportional. So if I do y over x for each one, y over x, let's see, so 20 over 0, that just equals, can't do that, can't divide by 0, so that's 24 divided by 2 equals 12, and 28 divided by 4 equals 7, 32 divided by 6 doesn't come out even, and neither does 36 divided by 8. So 6 goes into 32 about 6 and 1/3, and 8 goes in 36 4 and 1/2 times. So each slope there, or each k, is different. Okay, so explain why the relationship between the numbers of tickets and total cost is not proportional. Well, it's not proportional because it doesn't start at 0, 0. Okay, let's go to the next page. Let's go down. That's just a example. I'll tell you what a linear equation is. A linear equation is equations whose solutions are ordered pairs that form a line when graphed on a coordinate plane. Linear equations can be written in the form y equals mx plus b, and we're going to use that a lot more on Tuesday. Okay. So let's look at this. All right. Number 3. 3, your turn. It says make a table and a graph, the solutions of the equation. So from the form earlier, we have y equals, here's our mx plus b. We'll learn what all that is on Tuesday. So we're just going to plug the numbers into the equation to find our y. So -2 times -1 plus 1. -2 times 0 plus 1. -2 times 1 plus 1. And -2 times 2 plus 1. So -2 times -1 is 2 plus 1 equals 3. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 1, that equals 1. And then -2 times positive 1 is -2. -2 plus 1 is -1. -2 times positive 2 is -4, plus 1 is -3. So 3, 1, 1, -3. Okay? And then we need to put graphs. Take a table and graph. So -1, 3 is our first point. -1, 3. So go with -1, go up to 3. Okay, next one, 0, 1. Start at 0, go up to 1. Next one, 1, -1. Start at positive 1, go down to -1. Last 2, -3. Start at 2, go down to -3. Draw a straight line. Try to draw a straight line. And now we've made a table and a graph for our equation. That's all we're learning how to do, is make a table and a graph for the equation. Okay, let's look at something we got in practice. We're going to make a table of values for each equation. All right, so y equals 2x plus 5. So I'm going to plug -2 in for x. So 2 times -2 plus 5. That's 2 times -2 is -4. -4 plus 5 is 1. 2 times -1 plus 5. That's -2 times -1 is -2 plus 5 is +3. 2 times 0 plus 5. 2 times 0 is 0 plus 5 is 5. And 2 times 1 plus 5. Plus 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 5 is 7. Last 2 times 2 plus 5. So that is 4 plus 5, which equals 9. Alright, so that's number 1. Number 2, we're going to do the exact same thing. This one has a fraction in it. Well, we all want to run for fractions. It's going to come out pretty easy. So, 8 times -8 minus 5. 8 times 0 minus 5. Let's do those two. Right, I'm just going to multiply the top of the fraction times the whole number. So 3 times -8 is -24. And -24 divided by 8 is -3. -3 minus 5 is -8. Okay. -3/8 times 0 is 0, so that just becomes -5. And then 8 times +8 minus 5, so 3 times 8 is 24. 24 divided by 8 is 3. 3 minus 5 is -2. Alright, notice the next one, it doesn't have the number. But how much has the x value been going up? Starting at -8, it went up to 0. So from -8 to 0 is 8. From 0 to 8 is 8. So going up 8 more, that makes 16. And 8 more is 24. Okay, so let's do 3/8 times 16 minus 5. Use your calculator. 3 times 16 and divide by 8. So you got 48 divided by 8, which is 6. 6 minus 5 is 1. The last one, 3 eighths times 24 minus 5. So 3 times 24, 72. Divide that by 8. It's 9, and 9 minus 4, 5, excuse me, is 4. That's made two tables there. Number 3, explain why each relationship is not proportional. Okay, so for number 3, for it to be proportional, what must be true? It has to start at 0, 0, and y over x has to be constant. That's for it to be proportional. So, looking at the table, does it start at 0, 0? No, it starts at 0, 3. So, that's one reason it's not proportional. So, it doesn't start at 0, 0. Okay, it says first calculate y over x for that. So, let's go ahead and do that. I know we did it second, but so 3 over 0, that's just divide by 0. So 7 over 2, 11 over 4, 15 over 6, 19 over 8. Now, those aren't going to come out nice and even, so you would need to put them in your calculator. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. 11 divided by 4 is 2.75. Should spread that out a little bit. And 15 divided by 6 is 2.5. So I really don't need to continue because you will see that none of those y over x, which is k, are constant. So if k is not constant, or y over x is not constant, then it is not proportional. Okay, let's look at the graph now. All right, I can look at the graph, and the first thing I'm going to look for, does it go through 0, 0? No, it does not. So the reason it is not proportional is because it does not go through 0, 0. And that's all you really need to know, have to find for our graph. If it doesn't go through 0, 0, then it is not proportional. All right, number 5, complete the table for the equation. Then use the table to graph the equation. So we need to do this table, and then we're going to make the graph. We did this on your turn earlier. So our equation is y equals x minus 1. So let's plug in our x values into the x to get our y. So negative 2 minus 1. Negative 1 minus 1, 0 minus 1, 1 minus 1, and 2 minus 1. That's our x values right here. Each one of these is our x in parentheses. So, negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. And 1 minus 1 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, so let's plot these points now. Negative 2, negative 3, negative 2, negative 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 1, negative 2, negative 1, I'm sorry, excuse me, 0, negative 1, 0, negative 1, 1, 0, and 2, 1. Connect the points in a straight line. Okay. And that's all it wanted you to do. All right, so it's a question, how can you choose values for x when making a table of values representing a real-world situation? Basically, choose values for x in a real-world situation. Use ones that are going to make sense for the situation. So use numbers that make sense for
situation.
So you're not going to use, if it has something to do with elevation of a mountain, you're not going to use small numbers and have it measured in inches. You're going to do feet, and you're going to do large numbers. That's all it's saying. All right, you want to have these notes ready for Monday. Work on the homework in class on Monday. Come with questions. Have a good weekend.